Say hello to Jack Rogers, part of the Volunteer Connection. Hi, I'm Don Alhart, and welcome to Starathon 88. The same telethon we've been doing for a number of years, but a new name this year. We have a new phone number, too, and I've always wondered who the first person is who calls. Well, my wife, Mary, is standing by right now by our telephone bank with the Rochester chapter of Sweet Adelines. The number's on your screen, 442-4510. Dial it right now. You may be the first person. We'll talk. There it is. There's our first call. So we'll go over there and see who's on the air.
Hello?
You know, people have been setting up for this telethon all throughout the day. We are transforming the Brighton Center here at United Cerebral Palsy into a studio. The lights have been going up. The cameras are in shape. Everything getting ready for a telethon that's going to last until 7 o'clock tomorrow. We're about 10 seconds away from the start of this year's national telethon. The phones have been ringing. Any luck yet?
No luck yet.
Okay, the phones are ringing. We haven't got a name yet, but we'll have that name in just a few minutes.
Okay,
right now, to Starathon 88.
Starathon.
A weekend with the stars, some of the most exciting names in entertainment. Pearl Bailey, Jack Jones, Sammy Davis, The Whispers, Dionne Warwick, Ben Vereen, Oingo Boingo, and many more are here for Starathon 88, the 10th Weekend with the Stars special. Coming to you live from New York, from the Imperial Palace in Las Vegas, from the famous Improvisation Comedy Club in Los Angeles, from Universal Studio Tours. And now, live from Hollywood, here's John Ritter and Henry Winkler.
How am I doing? Great. Thank you. Welcome to the 10th anniversary Weekend with the Stars special, featuring some of the most exciting names in entertainment, like my very exciting friend right here, the excitable Henry Winkler. Henry!
Nice to see you, John.
Hey!
I'm done.
All right.
Unbelievable. Isn't that beautiful? And welcome, Donald. Donald, nice to see you. All right, listen, stay with us because we're going to be right back with Buster Poindexter, the Premiers, Oingo Boingo. They're all going to join us. We're going to be back. We love you in New York.
Hi, Don Alhart, along with my wife, Mary. We will be here until 7 o'clock tomorrow night as all of this continues.
And we'd like to welcome you to our telethon, which has a new name, Starathon 88.
Now, it may be new in terms of the name. In fact, you'll be seeing a lot of new things we'll be describing in the next few minutes here, but most of it is going to remain the same. The new number this year, though, is 442-4510. Look at the Sweet Adelines. They're standing by, waiting to talk to you. They'll sing to you. They'll take your pledge down over the phone. All you have to do is call 442-4510. And they'd like to hear the phone ring, and see, there it goes now. That gets them in tune.
That's
I don't know
right.
what note that is when the phone rings.
I have no idea. You'd be better
We'll
at
have
that
to
than I
find
would.
out. But we do want to let you know that from now until 7 o'clock tomorrow, we'll be here. Everyone will be here to answer the phones, and we want to keep them going as we kick off Starathon 88. Now, there may be times when we don't always remember to say Starathon 88 because that's a brand new name this year.
It is. And it takes a while getting used to. But we should remind you that our first caller was Ron J. Lemke, and he challenges all his friends, and he gave us a $10 pledge. We thank you for that.
We do want to acknowledge all of those who call in. Now, as we started at 11:30, we did give you the number and wanted to find out, just out of curiosity, who the first person is that gets through to a telethon. And Ron, you have that distinction. We thank you for your pledge, and any friend of Ron Lemke, call us right now and make your pledge, match his $10 pledge, and we'd be glad to put you in as part of our Starathon 88. One thing we have this year is a new telethon chairman, and his name is Brendan O'Riordan. In fact, we have two Brendan O'Riordans here. Brendan O'Riordan, our chairman, and Brendan O'Riordan, his 10-year-old son. Welcome to both of you. Good to have you here.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We were talking about some of the changes that we'll see this year. Maybe you can tell us, as the chairman, what are some of the new things people will be seeing?
Well, one of the things that when you introduced me as the chairman, I remember sitting on this chair last year at this time with who's the general chairman this year, Tony Savine.
And Tony's saying, looking over to his right, he's saying, this is the chairman for next year, so here I am.
Did you know prior to that that was going to be your job? Or?
I had a little bit of an inkling
Slight
on it,
hint,
but he really, he gave it to me. He passed the mantle, so to speak. One of the things that's very, very important, of course, in the telethon that we're going to try to get across to people is the educational aspect of things. Just what is being done and what any monies we collect, where it goes, how it helps to help these people in the community, how it helps to make this center run. And there'll be some, Ted Hart, who was chairman, or I should say he's telethon coordinator. Ted has put together several, I believe a dozen, mini documentaries, and they'll be run throughout the evening and the day, educating people, telling them what's going on.
Very, very well done. In fact, one of the things we're going to try to show, too, if people had a chance to see on the ABC World News Tonight on Friday, the Person of the Week this week.
That is one of the most moving pieces I've ever seen. Christy Nolan, a young 22-year-old boy who was honored in London this past week in front of a literary audience. A body that doesn't work, but a mind that is very sharp. He's written 2 books, and he's written the book of the year. They're acclaiming it. And I got to tell you this, I have to add this, with a name like O'Riordan. He lives in Dublin.
Yeah.
Christy Nolan.
We're going to be sharing, we're going to be sharing that story. You've been helping out your dad and getting all this activity planned?
I guess so.
You think he's going to do a good job?
Yeah, he sure is.
I think so, too.
Thanks,
Well, we're glad to have both of you here to help us get started for Starathon 88.
Thank you very much.
You're going to be seeing a lot of friends from Channel 13 throughout this telethon. You heard the whole crew from the news that was just on. We're going to be rushing over here from our studios in Henrietta to the Brighton Center, where we're broadcasting from, but somebody beat them to it.
Well, someone you know very well, Bill Peterson.
Our meteorologist, Bill, good to see you here.
Don, very nice to be here. As usual, every year we come down here to try and help out, and it's important. You know, we've been watching tapes and reading information, as we always do going into these telethons, to try and prepare ourselves. And in fact, it came across to me that it really is not our telethon, it is your telethon. You are the folks who make it work. You are the folks who watch it hours after hours, and you know, you're entertained, and the money that you pledge every year goes for a lot of good services and helps that we really need. So it is your telethon. You can make it work. You as an individual can pick up your phone and call, and that is what we need for each individual to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to make a pledge. I'm going to make a difference this year. It's something I can do to help. So the phone number here is 442-4510. The Sweet Adelines are on the phone. The phone number again is 442-4510, and the phones are ringing now, and I'm happy to hear that. We do already have pledges, and just a few of them. Mrs. Helen Cruz, $10 for John, her son, who has cerebral palsy. We have Winnie Murray, who pledged $50. We have Ann and Sandra, and I have one more. Phyllis Kravitz, all of them made pledges. We thank you all for those. Mr. and Mrs. Antonio Sedoni made a nice pledge. Also, thank you for that. Eric Peterson, a pledge, and we thank you for that. We're off to a good start here. We have a lot of pledges. The phones are really ringing now, and I hope that you keep this going. You know, the nighttime hours, a lot of you are getting ready to go to bed. Stay up and watch us for a couple of hours. The National will be on all night. We'll be here local for another couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours, and then on again early tomorrow morning. But let's get this off to one of our best starts that we've had in the last several years. Make a phone call, 442-4510. It's up to you to make the pledge, to get up, make the phone call for us. Don, Mary?
Okay, thank you very much, Bill.
He does that so nicely.
Yes, he's been around for a number of years doing telethons, and we thank Bill for stopping here tonight. Also want to mention the cooperation we're receiving this year from Greater Rochester Cablevision. We're using a lot of their equipment, their remote truck here at the Brighton Center. They've been very helpful in putting together some of the documentaries you're going to be seeing throughout this telethon. In fact, we're going to take a look at one of those right now. The use of computers is, as you might suspect, becoming increasingly important in the training for those who have cerebral palsy. We'd like to introduce you to 2 people who are making use of them. Their names are David and Chris.
At United Cerebral Palsy, computers help children get a head start on their education. Here, David Willamy and Chris Adam are working on eye-hand coordination, and they're learning the concepts of same and different.
And can you find the one that's different? Which one's different? Right. Okay, what's that a picture of, David?
A pear.
And what are the other two? The other two are?
Apple.
Apple, so the pear is different. Can you circle the pear? Good, Chris. Put your crayon down. Okay,
The computer helps reinforce the lessons David and Chris learn at the table.
Okay, Chris, what I want you to do is find the cookie that looks like this one in the first picture. Move the space bar till the square goes right on it. And press return. Good. Okay, let's try another one.
Growing up in the 1980s and 1990s means being acquainted with the computer. Children at United Cerebral Palsy's preschool program are ready.
That gives us some idea of really what we're going to be seeing and how computers are so helpful. Pam Telek is with us now with the Adaptive PT program with UCP. It's good to have you here to help us start our telethon and stay up with us. Tell us a little bit beyond what we've seen, I guess, as to how computers are used, and particularly, I guess, at the preschool level.
Within our program, we use computers to enhance and reinforce the classroom activities that the children are learning within the special education program. So they get a chance to work on the computers as a motivational. They enjoy it. They like to get on and use them. And it seems to enhance their skills.
And how early can you start them on computers?
Well, like the software that was on right now, we use that in our 4- and 5-year-old classrooms, but other children at age 2 are using them for just cause and effect type ideas.
As you look down the road to the future, because I know all of us are learning more about computers as we go along, we can't avoid them. But I would imagine for those who might have some physical problems, that the computer is going to increasingly meet needs as they progress to adulthood.
Right. I think the children in our program, some of them need to use them as environmental tools, and I think the exposure at an early level is real important for their future usage.
Okay. Well, Pam, thank you very much for being with us here and getting us off to a good start and helping us learn a little bit more about some of the tools that are being used at the United Cerebral Palsy Center. One of the tools we are going to use throughout the telethon to keep you informed as to our pledges to date is a brand new tote board that we have installed here. We're kind of excited about it. Let's take a look as we rejoin the National Telethon and see what we have.
6,886.
All right. And we'll be back in just a few minutes. Well, guess who's back? Here we are as Starathon 88 continues. We're live, as if we didn't already establish that, from the Brighton Center, United Cerebral Palsy here on Monroe Avenue in Brighton. Our entire telethon will be here live until 7 o'clock tomorrow. We're glad you could join us. We've got some pledges to read. We've been joined with some more of our members of the News Center 13 family. Jane Flash is here with us, and we're certainly glad to have her here to read a few pledges and rush over after the late news. You got some? Why don't we see who we've got there for us?
We have a pledge from Gail Murksey of Hilton, New York, $40. And also a pledge here from Mary Wise, $25. She says her nephew Jeffrey has cerebral palsy and that she challenges parents of children with cerebral palsy to meet or beat that pledge. And there you probably can hear what I'm saying a little bit better now. A $40 pledge from Mary Wise.
Okay, thank you very much. Mary, you've got a couple over here as well, I think.
Yes, I have one from Camden, Ontario, Canada. Robert G. Jeffys, I think that's the way you pronounce his name. A $10 pledge. We thank you for that. And Ross Polson of Newark, New York, a $25 pledge. And he challenges Nazareth clubs. We thank you.
And a reminder, too, that other pledge reminds us that people in Canada can give us a call. We certainly want to welcome anyone in our viewing area. Keep the phones ringing. I hear there's one right now, 442-4510. Standing by at the phones right now is Glenn Johnson, our meteorologist from Channel 13, who is going to keep the skies clear for all of this weekend for us, I am sure.
We are going to try, Don. Thank you very much. We have here our little friend Keith just joining us up a little bit late tonight. And also, Charles, why don't you introduce yourself, Charles?
Yes, I'd like to introduce to other viewers a very special friend of mine, Keith Perprocki. You want to say hi to everybody, Keith?
Hi.
Keith's a very special person to me. I've known him since he was born, and he's a very courageous fellow. He does something that I don't even do, and that's, what's your favorite sport now? What's your favorite sport, Keith?
Skiing.
Skiing. He had a very busy day today. He was out on the slopes for about 6 hours, and it's nice to have you here, Keith.
And we're getting a little good weather, hopefully, to do some skiing. We got you up late tonight, don't we? Uh-huh. What's your favorite subject in school?
Math.
Math? Are you good? You good at math?
Yeah.
I'm a terrible math student myself. Well, why don't we read a couple of pledges then?
Yes, we have a pledge from Jan Haig of $28.
And
thank you, Jan.
Mary Delito, $20. Thank you very much. Keep the pledges coming, please.
We also have Michael McClary, pledge of $5. Thank you, Michael.
Marion Hubbard, $10 pledge. Thank you very much. And now I think we're going to pass it back to Don and Mary. Don?
Okay. As we mentioned, a good portion of our telethon is always devoted to giving you information about United Cerebral Palsy, some of the programs, how it works. We run things a little differently in terms of telethons because we'd like to let you learn something and hope that through that process you are encouraged to give, that you end up giving because you want to, not because you feel you have to or feel obligated. One of the things we're going to look at right now is another one of the little mini documentaries that have been put together to talk about the community. Many of them are based around names, and right now we're going to introduce you to Debbie.
More disabled adults are becoming active members of their communities. Debbie Anderson is a dedicated and active citizen. She serves on a Rochester task force dealing with issues affecting the handicapped, and she's pursuing a degree in human services.
So the respite care center would provide something? I didn't think of that.
I didn't know. No.
It's a lead. I'll just...
Debbie brings an important viewpoint to the work of the task force, and through her involvement, she makes a difference in the lives of others.
We're joined now with someone from Adult Services, Pat Clementi, who is the Quality Assurance Coordinator and knows very much about the program that we've been seeing with Debbie. Maybe you can tell us a little bit, Pat, about some of the issues that the task force has been involved with.
Well, the task force that Debbie works on was put together by the Episcopal Diocese of Rochester. And one of the things that they have done is to research the availability of accessible religious services in the area. And they're a very good resource for people who might want to attend religious services. Mm-hmm. Some of the other issues are transportation and just in general accessing different support groups in the community.
I guess how do you go about making the community aware of what needs to be done?
Well, the groups have held open forum meetings in their communities, which is really nice because it allows them a chance to share their information throughout their own community and with other people. They publish newsletters and use the media, the news media, to get their messages across and really to become their own advocates.
That's great. And I assume, too, having people on the committee, getting involved in the task force, probably rubs off on other members. I mean, I would think it would have almost a real personal impact on those involved.
It's been great. It's been really good to have disabled people represented on different task forces in the community. They view the world differently than non-disabled people, and it often brings a new perspective to the committee, and they have so much to share, and they are their best advocates.
Great. Well, Pat, thank you for being here with us on Starathon 88 tonight.
Thank you.
In just a moment, we're going to join Bill Peterson over at the phones, but first we want to share with you this word from our friends at Delta Sonic.
Hi. Today, with a tax-deductible donation to the United Cerebral Palsy Telethon, you will receive absolutely free our famous Super Kiss Protection Package.
For years, Delta Sonic Car Wash Systems, with corporate headquarters in Buffalo, New York, has been known as the Kissing Clean Car Wash. Deltasonic has also been known for years as one of the most loyal supporters of the United Cerebral Palsy Telethon. Each year at telethon time, Deltasonic donates all its money from the sale of its Super Kiss protection package to the UCP Telethon. These funds have amounted to over $500,000 to date, and the numbers continue to grow. Enough money to create an entire infant therapy center in the Buffalo, New York UCP Center. A caring place where, in honor of the generosity of the car wash with a kiss, the little ones are now lavished with what's come to be known as kiss therapy, which is another example of UCP's belief in securing the best possible quality of life for those with disabilities, no matter how severe. Deltasonic Car Wash Systems, UCP's very first corporate sponsor in Western New York, is now proud to be a national corporate sponsor and a faithful friend since 1979.
Welcome back. Please let's keep those phones ringing, 442-4510. Now, I have with us Carol Defoe. You're a veteran of these telethons, I believe 6 years, Carol?
Yes, I have, 6 years.
And can you explain to us a little bit about what's going on here with your program?
Well, Deltasonic is participating in the Cerebral Palsy Telethon, and so far we have raised some money with our donations from our customers. For a $375 donation, they will receive our coupon book, which is $20 worth of coupons used at the Deltasonic. Also, the Factory Outlet Mall Panorama Plaza coupon for 10% off at each one of the stores. And our customers have started this donation program starting on Friday, and we have our totals tonight from the close of business today. We have $15,409 in the Rochester area, and our total Western New York total is $41,110.
Good job. That is fantastic. $15,409 here in Rochester. Carol, we thank you. We thank Deltasonic. They are with us every year. Let's hear the phones ring. 442-4510. Don, Mary?
Thank you. When we began this telethon a number of years ago, nine years ago, one of the first groups in the community involved was the Scottsville Lions Club. My brother-in-law, Sam Levecchi, your brother-in-law, Sam Levecchi, was involved at that time. Were you president that year? I mean, you must have been...
I think so.
You must have ranked pretty well to have the influence you did to get the whole club out here and get behind this thing.
I probably was president.
And they've carried on helping us every year. Why don't you introduce some other Lions who are with you tonight, and we want to say hello to them too.
Why, thank you. This is our present president, Lion Ed Kuhn, and next to him is our first vice president, Jer Holt, from the Scottsville Lions Club.
Good to have you here. I see something in your hand there, and it's almost time to go back to the National Telethon, so I don't want to let this slip by.
On behalf of the Scottsville Lions Club, I'd like to present this check to...
Okay, thank you very, very much. A $200 check from the Lions Club. We want to thank you for your support over the years, not only on the phones and helping us out, but working us as well. And thanks for stopping by. Let's check our tote board right now and see where we stand.
We have $8,461.
All right, we'll be back.
All across America as Starathon 88, the Weekend with the Stars continues.
Starathon 88 continues here in Rochester. I could tell you what number to call, but nobody can do it any better than the Sweet Adelines here. They sing this for us every year, so let's tell everyone where to call.
442-4511. May your call right now.
442-4510 as Starathon 88 continues. And we are back right here at the Brighton UCP Center on Monroe Avenue, right next to Don and Bob's.
Right?
And we're going to be here till 7 o'clock tomorrow. So if you want to pick up the phone, give us a call. We'll be here to take your pledges. We have the Sweet Adeline standing by still at 442-4510. We have a good portion of our meteorological department of Channel 13 with us. The largest meteorological staff
Careful,
in the
smile
world.
When you say that.
In terms of the numbers of people. That's exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
Bill Peterson and Glenn Johnson are here, and we want to maybe acknowledge some of those people who've called in, because when you call and make a pledge, we want to acknowledge it.
Got one here, Paula Renschuler, and I apologize, Paula, if I didn't quite get that right, but $25, we thank you for that, and I would emphasize that it is up to you, of course, to make those calls. It is your telethon, and we do a lot of work here, not only collecting money, but educating you as far as the United Cerebral Palsy Association goes.
Okay, you want to pass some of those over to
Sure.
Glenn there? We'll sight unseen. We'll let him.
Sure. Mary Delato, $20. Thank you very much. And Maynard Content, $10. Thank you very much. Keep pledging those dollars. You know, if we could make any kind of, we talk about the weather all the time, Bill, and night after night, if we could make any kind of analogy between the weather and what we're doing here tonight, bringing a little bit of sunshine into the kids' lives, I think that's what we're doing here today and well into tomorrow.
Okay. We thank you for that. Okay, you have one quick one?
Yeah, I have a quick one. Robert Chafee, a $50 pledge, and he, I guess, the Delco product workers, and he's challenging them.
Okay.
We thank you for that.
Earlier tonight, there was some activity going on at Yuck Yucks. We'll take a look at a lot of it a little bit later on, but right now we want to share with you what has been happening tonight down at Yuck Yucks.
Here we are at Yuck Yucks during Starathon 88 here for the United Cerebral Palsy Telethon. We want those phones to ring down at the studio. Once again, that phone number, ladies and gentlemen, is what? Let's all say that. It's 442-4510. Let's get those phones ringing, folks. If you're sitting at home drinking a beer or something, get up. Who would be home? Again, he starts with me. Get up, pick up the phone, dial the number. Now let's go back to the studio. Don, take it away. Thanks a lot.
Who is that guy?
That's Yuck Yucks.
Oh,
Who is that guy? That's one of the... I don't know who he was. I don't know. We'll have to find out. Who was that guy? Yuck Yucks. That's a Yuck Yuck man.
That explains everything.
I know who's over at our phones right now. Mike Catalano's over there and his fiancée. We're going to get some pledges from them.
Thanks, Don. You seem to have friends all over the place. Rochester is new to Bernadette and I. We're here just for about a month and a half, just getting used to the area, and we're finding out how enjoyable it is to be here. And a night like tonight really shows us what kind of community support we're getting in this area.
It's great to know we moved to such a great city of Rochester. A lot of people have called already, including Ruth Mason of Victor, New York, and she encourages the nurses' aides in Monroe and Ontario County to meet or beat her $5 pledge. We also have Miss Barbara Bannister of Rochester, New York, with a $15 pledge. If you haven't called yet, please give us a call, 442-4510.
We have a couple of more to talk about. Now, we're in front of the Rochester chapter of the Sweet Adeline group, and one of their group, Ginny Deacon, called in a pledge of $10, and she says it's in memory of Annabelle Boxwell. Mr. and Mrs. L.C. Mighty called in a pledge of $25, and as we've been saying before, if you're at home and you're watching and you don't hear the phones ringing, make the phones ring. Get up and make a phone call. It's going to help some people right here in our area.
That's right. Mike, you have some more pledges?
Yeah, we have one more we'll read right now. Mr. and Mrs. Jean Syret of Rochester called in a pledge of $10. So we thank you for now. We're going to send it back over to Don.
Okay. That was Eric Nussbaum, by the way.
Of course it
from
was.
Yuck Yucks, and he's the manager of Yuck Yucks. So we want to thank them for their contributions. They're working down there to drum up some support for the Starathon 88, and we'll be hearing more from them as the night wears on. So thank you, Eric, for all of your work. As we said, we're going to be showing you some of the activities that take place at United Cerebral Palsy. We're broadcasting from the Brighton Center, and there's an exciting program underway here called Discovery. We're going to find out more about it as we meet Laura.
Meet Laura Neno, age 13. She's been served by United Cerebral Palsy's Discovery program since it began in 1983. Discovery provides for handicapped and non-handicapped children from 7 in the morning until 6 at night, every workday of the year. Laura comes to United Cerebral Palsy in the morning, just before her parents go to work. From Discovery, Laura gets on the bus to go to school in Fairport. And in the afternoon, Laura's friends at United Cerebral Palsy welcome her back to Discovery, where she relaxes and learns until her parents get out of work.
Discovery allows both parents to work with the comforting knowledge that their children are receiving quality care. We have approximately 70 families enrolled at Discovery. 12 of those families are with the after-school program. The remainder of those families are in our preschool rooms where they benefit from the integration of both handicapped and non-handicapped children.
Today, Laura can enjoy the frustration and triumph of completing a puzzle and practice fine muscle control at the same time. But whether she's working on a puzzle, playing a game, or learning some new skill, Laura Neno is reaching for the stars.
Yeah, one of the things in doing the telethon for the past 9 years is watching people like Laura, because I can
She has
remember.
really grown.
Yeah, and it's great to see what this program is doing. Lucille Brandt has joined us from the staff of United Cerebral Palsy. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
We want to find out a little bit more about Discovery and really how the daily program is affected by integrating handicapped and non-handicapped.
Okay. Primarily, we're very similar to most daycare centers and in many cases nursery schools. Probably one of the only daycare centers in the area that does serve handicapped children. And basically it doesn't alter the program very much. What we try to do is allow for individual differences and specialties, be it a handicap or a non-handicapping condition, to enhance each child in our program. And by allowing children to grow at their own rate, physically, emotionally, mentally, we all benefit.
And how many children have you enrolled in the program?
We have roughly 72 families. Some 21% have handicapped children.
So you have families who may be having a handicapped child and a non-handicapped child. Right. Now they can come together with other families who share that kind of home environment. I would imagine that would strengthen the home situation.
I think it does too, in all cases.
And it's also beneficial for the staff.
Very much so, really.
And what about the benefits of having it right here at UCP?
There are lots, Don. We have full UCP benefits for all of our staff, which typically are not part of other daycare center programs. That's a real plus to getting good staff. The other real advantage is that we have all the support of the therapist and anyone else that has specialized training. They work with our staff to work with the children. So
great. Well,
it's a great program. Thank
Lucille
you.
Brandt, thank you for being with us tonight and telling us a little bit more about some of the programs and helping our viewers to learn more about them as well. We're going to go back to the phones right now, and Mike is standing by, and Bernadette.
And we're trying to keep the phones ringing and keep everybody busy. The ladies are here, and they're going to be hanging around for a while taking your phone calls. And we know it's getting kind of late this evening, but what a nice way to go to sleep tonight with the thought of making a phone call, making a pledge, and knowing that you've helped someone out who needs your help. Be a nice way to go to rest tonight knowing that you've helped someone.
That's right, 442-4510. Please give us a call. Only you can make it happen for us. And we have had a call from Beatrice Howitt. She pledged $10, and she's from Rochester. Thank you very much, Beatrice.
All right. Also, Mr. Robert Jeffys of Camden in Ontario, Canada. Another one of our friends from Canada. Remember, as Don said earlier, anyone in our viewing audience can give us a call, 442-4510. He pledged $10.
And we have Mr. and Mrs. John M. Clark in the name of their granddaughter, Jennifer, and they have pledged $10. Thank you very much.
Okay. Ross Polson, the president of the Nazareth College Commuter Association, called in a pledge of $25, and this pledge also includes a challenge to all of the clubs at Nazareth. Now we're going to challenge things back over to Don.
Okay, thank you, Mike and Bernadette. Very quickly, Michael McClary calls in a $5 pledge, says he has CP and wants to pledge something, and that is really what is so important here. The amount, of course, will add up and as the night wears on, but it's the fact you make that call. One quick one, Mary.
Sure. William Polito, a $10 pledge. Thank you for that.
Thank you for that. Let's take a look at our tote board right now.
We have 26,312.
We'll be back.
I'm Jane Flash back in Rochester with meteorologist Glenn Johnson, who is proving he is multi-talented. Not only can he remember weather forecasts, he can remember numbers.
Phone numbers, and once again, we want to remind you, you've seen it many, many times. We're keeping you up late here, but 442-4510. Give us a call.
A reminder, we do have people manning the phone banks at all times. We would appreciate your call. This is your telethon. Please call 442-4510.
And we are back here in Rochester as our telethon continues. We want to thank people who are calling in to Mrs. Calkins, thank you for your $12 pledge. Let's go right around the couch here very quickly and get a pledge each here. What have you got, Mary?
Peter Hassos, a $10 pledge. We thank you for that.
Okay. Jane, have you got a
Pledge from
pledge?
Jan Haig. She pledges $28, and there's also a challenge here to members of Ferris Goodrich American Legion post number 330 to beat or meet her pledge.
Okay.
A Miss Barbara Cohen, $10. Thank you very much.
Bill, what do you got there?
I don't have a pledge, but I got my wife's Visa card here.
That's an awfully big one.
You can, that's why it's my wife's. Yeah. You can, in fact, there we are, make your pledge on Visa if you don't care to make it on just over the phone. You can make your pledge through Visa. We urge you to call the number here at the studios, 442-4510. And, of course, we are in Brighton, as we are the last, 3 years, I believe.
It's been our third year here.
Right, so you can use Visa if you care to.
All right.
How do I get one of those, by the way?
Yeah, I'd like one too.
That's my wife.
Same thought.
I want to go and introduce some new people on the phones that are helping us out.
That's right, Mike and I are back at the phones, and we have a new group of operators from Security Safe. We want to thank the gentlemen for being here, and why don't you give them a call and keep them busy?
Yeah, they're just starting to get busy. The phones are ringing. We hear one now. We want more. 442-4510 is the number. Keep them ringing. Keep everybody busy. Back to Don and the group at the couch.
Okay. It's been a busy night over at Yuck Yucks, and we join them now to see some of the festivities taking part in association with Starathon 88. And welcome back to Starathon 88 as we begin to wind down a little bit. Now, the telethon is going to go all night long. We're not going to be here all evening long, but we're going to be here a little while longer, and we'll be back tomorrow morning and continue until 7 o'clock tomorrow night. We want to acknowledge some of those people who've been calling in with pledges. And Mary, why don't you read a couple right over there?
Mr. and Mrs. Earl Gibo of Rochester, $25 pledge. We thank you for that.
Mr. and Mrs. Dominic Battaglini from Claybrook Street, your $15 pledge. Thank you very much. Norm Schwartz called in, and many of you were contacted. You may have received a call from Starathon 88 prior to the telethon. Your pledges do count, and Norm Schwartz is a case in point. I see him almost every day at the health club over at the JCC. He pledges $25 and challenges all health club members to match his $25 pledge. Norm, thank you very much. He did that last year, and it worked out very well. Mike Candelano, Bernadette is here. We have some more pledges for us.
Yeah, we have Pat DeBrine out of Rochester. She called in a pledge of $25, and we thank her for that.
And we have Russell Foch, and he called in a pledge from Rochester, New York, and we thank him very much.
Out of Fairport, Marilyn Morrison also called in, and she pledged $25. Remember, you can call your pledge in too, 442-4510.
And Miss Michelle Moreno from Channel 13 called in her pledge of $20, and she challenged the sportscasters and producers on Channel 13 to make their pledge also. I think that's your cue, Mike.
Yeah, okay, well, we'll remember that.
So if you're out there listening, 442-4510.
Okay, thank you very much. We get everyone involved on the staff, and Jane Flash has a very special member of our news department who's going to help with some pledges over by the phone.
Yes, Don, somebody who is very familiar to us but may not be to you. This is Helen Moore, one of our news photographers. She is indispensable to us and also reads pledges part-time.
Yes, and we have Gordon Bloom has called in and pledged $10. And lots of people are calling in here. Clara DePrez has pledged $10.
Let me read one in here. Mrs. Anna Marin of Rochester has pledged $10.
Margaret Morgan has pledged $25.
And we have another $10 pledge from Mr. Jonathan Simpson, who is calling from Ottawa. We thank you, our viewers from far away. And Sam Stein, a pledge of $5.
Okay, I have another one here. Walter Gibson has pledged $20.
And we remind people to call 442-4510. Don?
And thank you very much. One of the things we do, of course, throughout the telethon is inform you as to what is taking place with United Cerebral Palsy, the association here in Rochester, how the physically disabled are being dealt with, and the work of a physical therapist is probably one of the more important jobs here. We're going to find out a little bit about that job, and then we'll meet someone who is involved as a physical therapist.
Peggy Siebers is a physical therapist at United Cerebral Palsy.
Here we are in the gross motor room. As a physical therapist, I spend a lot of my time here because this is where a lot of the therapy with our children does take place, and we're going to take a look at some of the equipment. Over here we have the stairs. May is working with Claire on the stairs. It's a difficult activity for her, And May's using it to strengthen her legs, as well as working on the stability in her trunk. Now May's helping her bring her foot forward, giving her some stability, and she's working on a lot of different weight shifting, posture control, and balance in the standing position. There, she's doing a good job.
Great.
Good job, Claire.
Therapists use creative projects to give children a good sensory experience and learn balance and equilibrium at the same time. Here, Peggy is helping Rachel prepare a foot painting.
As you can see, there's a lot of different ways in physical therapy that we work with the kids on building their skills. Whether it's through playing games, through exercises, or our projects, we feel like all of our kids are stars. Okay, Fred, your turn. Gonna paint your foot. Suffered a
Give us
serious
a chance
fall.
to see what is taking place at the United Cerebral Palsy. Diane Willey is one of the physical therapists with UCP, and she's joined us tonight to talk a little bit more about what overall your responsibilities are. We've seen, I think, I would dare say probably a small fraction of what a typical day entails, but in terms of working with parents and family and working with the child.
Well, every child who comes into our program is evaluated. From that evaluation, we decide their therapy needs and also write up goals for them. We review those goals every 3 months and rewrite them and so on. So there's a lot of paperwork involved besides just with our work with the children. We adapt equipment. For instance, a child may have a high chair at home that he doesn't quite fit into or that he can't sit real well, and we can provide adaptations for things like that
So you
for the
really
family at home.
work with the family so that they can carry on some of the work you begin, and
That's
you can
right.
kind of work as a team on that.
Diane, what do you find most enjoyable about your job?
I have a lot of fun with the kids. It's one of the jobs where you can sit on the floor and play, and it doesn't always seem like work. So, and it's fun to see the kids really, at this age, they make a lot of gains really quickly.
I was going to say the progress must be really satisfying for you.
Very much.
We've noticed that over the years. We were talking about Laura earlier, and how we've watched children progress from telethon to telethon. It's great. Thank you for sharing some of that with us.
You're welcome.
We're glad you could come out here tonight. Right now, we're going to go back over to the phones, and I'm not sure what the forecast is going to be for tomorrow. We may even get that along with some pledges.
A bonus.
Well, I'm not going to give you the forecast because I'm not working. Glenn will give it to you here. Yeah. We, I don't know, is it going to snow?
Well, we're looking for a little bit of snow, but we're not going to say how much. Just a little bit of snow.
All right. Well, we do know some things. We know a lot of good people are calling in with pledges. The phone number is 442-4510. Let's keep those phones ringing right through the night, and I think we have some pledges.
We sure do. Miss Rose M. Franklin, $20. Thank you very much.
We have Barbara Cohen, $10. Thank you, Barbara.
A Miss Elizabeth Gardino, $20. Thank you very much.
Sarah Phillips, $10. Thank you, Sarah.
A John Sadowski, $10. Thank you very much.
Miss May Cecil, $10. Cecil?
Cecil. It looks like Cecil. And Josephine Monterello, $5. Thank you very much.
And Mr. Bill Ardillo, $10. Thank you for that. Please keep those phones ringing right through the night. We need you to make this a successful telethon. 442-4510, and back to Don.
If you're out there, we're here, and the phones are waiting. So all you have to do is pick up a phone, 442-4510. You won't wake anybody up here. We're here to answer the phones and talk to you.